Good evening. Tonight on Love Live at 6, these are our leading stories. BCCI calls for tighter controls in government smart stream payment system. The NTUCB says greed is unacceptable as Mira family contracts top $10 million. Minister Ramon Cervantes denies involvement in contracts linked to his cousin's company. The CCG rules Belize's registered agent requirement does not automatically breach CARICOM competition rules. BEL awaits final approval to move ahead with a major $40 million investment for San Pedro, and we'll also hear more on the proposed monthly power cost adjustment sandbox. And the NTUCB begins building a registry for domestic workers as it pushes for Belize to ratify ILO Convention 189. Stay with us for those stories and others in tonight's edition of News Live at 6.
A year ago, on March 17, 2025, Builders Hardware introduced something new for Belize, our online store. For the first time, customers could explore thousands of products, place their orders, and complete their purchases entirely online. Whether you're nearby or in another district, you can browse what you need, place your order, and have it delivered directly to you. And for those who prefer to pick up their items, our smart lockers make it quick and simple. Just scan your code and your order is ready. Every day, more and more people across the country have begun turning to the platform as a faster and more convenient way to shop with Builders Hardware. Along the way, many customers have also found added benefits online, from special website offers to rewards for those signing up for the first time. All of this is just another step towards making our products more accessible to communities across Belize, bringing our store closer to you wherever you are.
Introducing GrowWatt, a global leader in distributed energy solutions, delivering innovative solar technology trusted around the world. Engineered for reliability, designed for sustainability, built to power every scenario, powering homes, empowering businesses, creating a smarter energy future for Belize. For residential hybrid systems that maximize energy independence, to homes across Belize benefiting from smarter, more efficient power management. GrowWatt off-grid solar storage solutions bring dependable electricity to locations beyond the traditional power grid, providing clean, reliable energy whenever and wherever it is needed. For businesses, GrowWatt delivers powerful commercial and industrial energy solutions that help reduce operating costs while improving energy security, including proven installations right here in Belize, helping businesses operate efficiently with dependable solar energy systems. As transportation evolves, GrowWatt EV charging solutions help power the future with clean energy. Need power on the move? GrowWatt portable solar power solutions provide flexible energy for construction sites, events, emergency applications, and temporary installations. GrowWatt delivers energy smart solutions for a greener future. Distributed in Belize by Lano Supplies, 112 Ranchita Village, Corozal Town.
Easy. Accessible. Safe. Yours. DigiWallet. Easy, accessible, safe, yours.
Before our grid reached across Belize, it was built. by generations of Belizeans committed to connecting communities and powering progress. Through the hands, the dedication, and the vision of our people, the grid grew with Belize. A nation built through strength and resilience, and a network built pole by pole. Today, that responsibility continues, strengthened by every hand that follows. Each generation building on the last and carrying forward a shared responsibility, serving communities, powering schools, hospitals, businesses, and homes, supporting a nation that continues to grow. Belize Electricity Limited, built to serve, serving Belize.
Back to School 2026 with the Angelus Press is here. And this year it's bigger and better. We're talking unbelievable deals all summer long. Starting June 15, stock up on all your school essentials.
New notebooks? Check. Fresh backpacks? Check. Prices that make you smile? Double check.
Mommy, I want my new Samsonite backpack.
That's right. Samsonite still offers a sweet 1-year warranty. And hey, you even get a free merch with purchase while supplies last. Stay in the loop by following the Angelus Press on social media. Every Friday during our back to school season, look out for our jaw-dropping this stuff for real deals.
So before you shop, make sure you follow
The Angelus Press, your back-to-school headquarters all summer long. The Angelus Press and the Love Foundation, transforming lives with love.
Good evening. You're live with the news here on Love Television for today, the 3rd day of July 2026. The Belize Chamber of Commerce and Industry has written to Prime Minister John Briceño calling for stronger safeguards in the government's financial management systems, following the recent concerns over procurement and payment processing. In a letter dated June 29, the BCCI President Giacomo Sanchez said the Chamber supports the government's decision to investigate the reported irregularities while stopping short of commenting on any specific case. The Chamber says the situation highlights the need for better controls to protect public funds and maintain public confidence. BCCI is recommending upgrades to the Smart Stream accounting system or the introduction of another automated monitoring system that can work alongside it. The Chamber says the goal should be to catch questionable transactions before payments are made, instead of identifying problems only after the fact. Among its recommendations are limits on how many invoices can be processed for one supplier in a single day, automatic alerts for unusual transactions, stronger checks against duplicate invoices and payments, and clearer separation between officers and who enter payments and those who approve them. The Chamber is also calling for better audit trails, tighter access controls for users of the system, real-time reporting of suspicious transactions, and regular technical audits of the accounting platform itself. According to the BCCI, many of those changes could be introduced without waiting for the current investigation or the wider review of procurement rules to be completed. It says early action would show that the government is serious about strengthening accountability across the public service. The Chamber has also urged government to improve the internal audit function, publish audit reports on time, and ensure that recommendations are acted on instead of being allowed to sit without follow-up. And the National Trade Union Congress of Belize, the NTUCB, is raising fresh concerns over government contracts linked to members of the Mira family, following reports that the family's businesses received more than $10 million in payments over the past 4 years. The issue has drawn public attention because former Minister of State in the Ministry of National Defense and Border Security, Oscar Mira, held responsibility in the ministry during the period when the contracts were being issued. Records now being reviewed show that multiple members of the Mira family were among suppliers receiving payments connected to the ministry. NDUCB President Ella Waite had initially acknowledged that in a small country like Belize, where business and family connections often overlap, it can be difficult to completely avoid contracting someone related to a public official. But Waite says the scale of the payments now being revealed, involving several members of the same family, has changed the discussion. She says the level of greed reflected in the situation is unacceptable, raising serious questions about how public contracts were being managed.
When we see the perception, and I will use the word perception because I'm very careful, we do not have the results of the investigation yet, but it's perception of nepotism, the perception of not having proper controls, of circumventing processes, to have family members through many years, via many years, not just 1 year, but many years, getting contracts. It is concerning because we cannot waste the little we have. I am a realist, and I will be very clear to say it can be because Belize is so small. Many of us are related to other people, related to business persons, related to persons who have who provide services and products. It is a reality that some ministers may be related to persons who receive contracts. That's just the reality. But it should not be that your family members are the only ones getting contracts. Your family members are getting these contracts year after year after year. That should not be the case. There are other persons in this country who can provide the same service and same products as they would or they could. The proverbial pie is very small. We must ensure that there are as much people who benefit from the hard work of this country, meaning they take products that they grow, vegetables, fruits, whatever it may be, animal meat, whatever it may be, that they also benefit from the hard work that they put into their life too. So that is a concern that it is the evidence that has come out is that one family has been benefiting year after year after year, and that should not have been the case.
According to it, the labour movement has repeatedly called for greater transparency and for unions and other independent groups to have a role in oversight when public spending and procurement decisions are being made. She says that kind of participation could help identify concerns earlier and build greater public confidence in the process. But according to it, those proposals have not received a response from the authorities.
Now, when it comes to the paying out under the $10,000, as we mentioned before, it may not have been illegal, but it was not right. It was not good accounting practices. It should not have happened. If a contract is for $250,000 and you get that payment in 4 payments, that in 4 payments, then I should have shown that you got 4 payments that, of to make up that $250,000, not 50 payments of $10,000. It seems like it was a process to not have certain processes happen, to not allow for a complete assessment of what was being paid. And that is our concern. And that has to change. So what we have heard from the Prime Minister is of changes that will happen. But because of the trust that I think Belizeans don't have in the government service.
Meanwhile, Minister of State Ramon Cervantes is denying any involvement in government contracts awarded to a company operated by members of his extended family. The issue has come into focus following reports that J&J Imports, a company registered in 2022 and linked to Enrique Javier Requena and his son Hamir Requena of Orange Walk, received millions of dollars in business supplying rations to the Belize Defense Force. According to information circulated from SmartStream payment records, J&J Imports received approximately $3 million during the 2023-2024 financial year, accounting for about 24% of BDF ration supplies during that period. The company has been identified as one of the major suppliers in the records reviewed, but Cervantes says he had absolutely no role in securing, managing or influencing any government contracts involving his cousin's business, maintaining that the company's dealings with the government are separate from his work as a Minister of State.
What's your relation to Enrique and Jamir Requena from J&J Imports?
Enrique.
Requena.
I know Jamir Requena. He's my second cousin. He's the son of my cousin.
Were you instrumental in them receiving any contracts with the Ministry of Defense?
No, not at all. Not at all. I have nothing to do with it.
So you had no involvement in them getting the supply arrangement? They're the owners of J&J Imports.
No, I had no involvement in that anyone at all.
Do they supply your constituents with pantry or any grocery bags?
No, they don't.
Did you speak to Minister Marin to give them a boost with the supply contract?
No, I didn't speak to him.
J&J Imports was registered on May 3rd, 2022 by your relatives, the Requenas. Was the company established to benefit the BDF supply contracts?
I don't know.
We are told that you are being considered to be assigned the defense portfolio, but the Prime Minister decided against it because of your connection to J&J Imports, which is a top supplier to the BDF. Is this true?
I don't know if I was being considered, and I have no connection with J&J. As far as I know, the Prime Minister has ordered an audit of the ministry and those same transactions you are talking about. So I think that is a step in the right direction to get a clear and true picture of what transpired.
The reports draw attention to a series of 9 invoices processed on a single day in 2025, each valued at $9,912.50. The figure falls just below the $10,000 threshold that can trigger additional procurement requirements. The Caribbean Court of Justice has ruled that Belize can require certain CARICOM-connected companies to have a registered agent in Belize without automatically breaking regional competition rules. The decision came out of a case before the Belize High Court involving businessman G. Anwar Barrow, several Belize registered companies, the Financial Services Commission and the Attorney General. The companies had challenged rules that apply to businesses linked to other CARICOM countries. These include having to appoint a registered agent in Belize, submit company documents through that agent, and pay some required fees in US dollars. The Belize High Court asked the CCJ to determine whether the registered agent requirement placed those companies at an unfair disadvantage when compared with other businesses. The CCJ first confirmed that it has the authority to interpret the revised Treaty of Chaguaramas when a national court asks it to do so. But on the main question, the court found that the treaty provision raised in the case deals with unfair or anti-competition actions by business, not rules imposed by a government.
The court held that Article 177 per se is concerned with the conduct of enterprises, not regulatory measures of the state. Applying this interpretation, the court concluded that the requirements imposed in the instant matter are regulatory measures enacted by the state and do not arise from the business conduct of an enterprise. While acknowledging that state measures capable of distorting competition might be scrutinized under other provisions of the RTC, the court emphasized that the referred question does not request interpretative assistance in relation to those other provisions. In its ruling, the court answered the question as follows. Article 177 of the RTC does not prohibit a regulatory requirement that A, local companies with shareholders or directors from CARICOM jurisdictions, and B, companies incorporated within CARICOM countries maintain and file documents through local registered agents. Article 177 is concerned per se with the anti-competitive business conduct of enterprises and not with the regulatory measures of a member state. That then is the ruling on the question referred. As indicated earlier, that ruling was communicated earlier today to the High Court of Belize.
That was Justice Winston Anderson. According to the CCJ, government policies that may affect competition could possibly be challenged under other parts of the treaty. However, those issues were not part of the question sent to the court by the Belize High Court. The ruling has now been sent back to the Belize High Court, where the constitutional case will continue. In other news, Belize Electricity Limited, BL, says it is ready to move forward pending government's final approval with a major investment on Ambergris Caye. The company held a press briefing this morning to update the media on the company's financial position, ongoing projects, and plans to meet growing electricity demand across the country. Executive Chair Lin Young says one of the most urgent areas is San Pedro Ambergris Caye, where rapid growth in tourism construction and new developments has pushed electricity demand beyond earlier projections. Young says a $40 million grant approved through the Millennium Challenge Corporation will be critical in strengthening both generation and distribution capacity on the island.
With respect to the MCC project now, I think Sheena also mentioned that we have this cable that's supplying San Pedro. It's reached, well, the load has grown significantly, and we're in danger of that cable failing because of overloading. So we had to put a gas turbine there to take some of the loading off the cable. And the company had already done some numbers to run a new cable to San Pedro with more capacity. It works up to it's about $140 million. So when we discussed with the government and MCC, we felt the best use of the MCC funds would be to help us put that in place because of the importance, of course, of San Pedro in the economy and the cost of that project. But that's just one part of it, because like I said, with the economic growth that's taking place, there's tremendous need for capital investment in infrastructure. We estimate that we're probably going to have to spend between $80 and $100 million a year just to keep up with the growth. And that's to put in the solars, to put in the batteries, to upgrade the transmission line. The line that feeds down south from Democracy, it's at 69 kV. The load has been growing down there. We're going to have to upgrade that line to 115 kV. That's going to be probably another $100 million project. So electricity, the projects are very expensive, and you have to plan them well in advance, and then you have to make sure that you have capital to do it. So that MCC grant comes in really, really handy to take that part out of the way. It's a $40 million grant that's going, we hope. We understand that it's practically approved. I think we're going to get the news probably sometime the end of this month, whether or not it's approved. I see the government just signed off, so I expect that we're going to get that approved, and that's how it's going to be used.
Well, that submarine cable will cost upwards of 120 million Belize dollars. In related news, power outages in Mexico's Bacalar area are highlighting a potential concern for Belize, which relies heavily on imported electricity from Mexico's Comisión Federal de Electricidad, or the CFE. Earlier today, residents from several Bacalar communities blocked the main road for nearly 5 hours after reporting repeated power failures in recent days. The road has since been reopened, but the residents reportedly warned that they could stage another protest if lasting solution is not found. While there has been no indication that the Bacalar outages have affected Belize's electricity supply, the situation does bring to the forefront Belize's dependence on CFE for a significant share of its power needs. At the same time, Belize Electricity Limited is preparing for the possibility that an El Niño weather pattern could bring prolonged dry conditions and reduce the country's hydroelectric generation. BL Chief Executive Chair Lin Young says the company may have to spend as much as $4 million per month to secure enough alternative power if drought conditions affect hydro production.
All indications are that it tends to bring drought
with it. So how serious it will be, we are not sure, but what Hydro Belize and BL has been working together to try to conserve as much water. So at this point in time, we have the amount of water that we normally need for this point of the year. But if the rains don't happen the way they normally happen in the latter half of the year, then we could face some issues. We also are concerned about issues from CFE. So what BL did is we applied to the PUC to put in emergency generation. So as we speak, we've already prepared a spot at Westlake, that's mile 8, and we have 24 megawatts of emergency generation coming in. These are mobile units that will be set up there to cover us in the event that CFE has issues or that if we have a drought, so that we avoid having rolling blackouts. It's one of these things in the industry that you think hard about because it's going to cost us extra money, and already we're bleeding, right? It's going to cost us about $4 million a month to have that extra generation in place. But two things. One is that when CFE prices go high, we can turn it on and avoid that cost from CFE. And B, if CFE says it can't generate, then we don't have to have blackouts. We have it. So it's one of those things that you're paying for. It's kind of like insurance. You're paying for it, but you hope you don't need it. But you realize that there's a very high chance that you might need it because there's CFE and there's a drought that could come. And there is also climate change where the months are getting hotter, and we have these months where people's bills go through the roof, but you have to supply the power.
Young says the uncertainty surrounding El Nino remains one of BL's major challenges. While forecasts point to the possibility of drier conditions, there is no firm indication of when those conditions may affect Belize or how severe they could become. The PUC proposed regulatory sandbox for BL's cost of power adjustment got a little clearer today with a further explanation from the company's Lin Young. As previously reported, the PUC is considering a controlled trial that would test whether BL can make monthly requests to adjust electricity bills when the actual cost of buying power rises or fails. The proposal is not yet in effect, and BL would not be able to change rates on its own. Any adjustment would first have to be reviewed and approved by the PUC. During a press briefing today, Young further broke down the sandbox arrangement and how it's expected to work. He says that the proposal is intended to give regulators and consumers a clearer view of changes in the cost of power as they happen. Instead of allowing major differences to build up over a longer period and later result in larger adjustments, Young says the sandbox will also allow the PUC to closely monitor the system before deciding whether it should become a permanent part of the country's electricity tariff structure.
We just got the decision yesterday, and we're going through it, and we need to, I think we will have to discuss with the PUC some more to understand how it works, but basically my understanding is that they will put the COPA in place, and monthly the company will report to the PUC. They will look at it, and if they have to make any adjustments, they will make the adjustments. And again, I think one big advantage is a very transparent way of doing it, right? So I think everybody will be able to see exactly what's happening as it happens.
For now, BL's electricity rates remain unchanged for the period from July 1st, 2026 to June 30th, 2027. The sandbox exercise can only begin after the PUC issues its final decision on BL's annual rate review. In other news, the National Trade Union Congress of Belize, the NTUCB, is calling on domestic workers across the country to register in a new database that the organization is seeking to establish. The effort is part of a broader push to strengthen the recognition and protection of domestic workers here in Belize. While the country has not yet ratified the International Labour Organization's Convention 189, which sets international standards for decent work for domestic workers, the NTUCB says building a proper registry is an important first step. Union says the database will help provide a clearer picture of the number of people working in private homes and the kinds of work they perform. It is also expected to help lay the groundwork for advocacy aimed at getting Belize to ratify Convention 189. NTUCB President Ella Wade says the organization has been in dialogue with the ILO to ensure the process is carried out properly and in a way that can support future lobbying efforts.
We are having technical meetings. We began last week with ILO to guide us through the process of how to ensure that we get these domestic workers registered, that we get information to them, how we can ensure that they're organized. Now, I want to be very clear, because when we say organized, when union people talk about organized, we're talking about unionizing them, right? This is not the case. It's simply to ensure that we get them together so that they know what their rights are and what the benefits are when it comes to the Labor Act. As much as we have not ratified Convention 189, there are aspects of their employment that are listed and protected under the Labor Act, as in any other worker, in a sense that the domestic worker must know something as basic as the name and address of their employer, where they're supposed to report to work, the starting date that they're supposed to work, the type of work that they're supposed to do, what their payment will be, how that payment is calculated, especially when it comes to overtime, the hours that they're supposed to work, their paid annual vacation, what days they're supposed to take for rest periods, and the conditions that they work in. We have to ensure that they're working in conditions that are decent for domestic workers, for any workers. So it's basic information like this that we would want to ensure that domestic workers are aware of. But that will come when we get them organized, in the sense that we get them together and where we can share this information and educate them. So we have listed a number on our flyer where they can WhatsApp, they can call, they can message. What we'll be doing as well is going to places where we think domestic workers would gather. We know that they take children to school, right? So we'll be taking our flyers to different primary schools, infant schools, where younger children are attending, where the domestic workers would take them and share our information with them as well. So
domestic workers are persons employed in private households that carry out duties such as cleaning, cooking, washing, childcare, gardening, driving, or caring for the elderly and vulnerable persons. She says the registry is open to both Belizeans and migrant workers, since all domestic workers deserve to be recognized, included in the discussion about their rights and working conditions.
It would be any man or woman who works in a house, a home, that does domestic work, does babysitting, does caregiving. You're considered a domestic worker. You can be, again, a male or female. Once you are working there, you are employed by someone to work in a home. That would be all you need, all the criteria you would need to have. They are migrant workers, but they are domestic workers. And those are the ones, sadly, that are being taken advantage of more than the others, simply because they are more in the dark. They are afraid to come out to worse to report being taken advantage of because they do not have the proper documents. So that is where we will assist. There is an opportunity to have a work permit in this country to work. Some of them cannot afford it. Some of them are not even aware of it, because some employers, again, some, maybe few, would not want them to be aware of that information, because then they now have a legal representation in this country. They're legally working here, so they will then want to know their rights, right? So all of that is taken into consideration. We are aware that there are some migrant workers working as domestic workers, and those are the ones that we say are most vulnerable, that we want especially to reach out to us. We will assist in that process as well. The
ILO Convention 189 is an international labor agreement focusing on protecting domestic workers, including housekeepers, nannies, cooks, caregivers, gardeners, and others employed in private homes. It falls on countries that ratify it to ensure domestic workers receive fair treatment, including clear terms of employment, reasonable working hours, rest periods, minimum wage protection, where applicable, social security coverage, protection from abuse and harassment, and safe working conditions. The Convention also recognizes that domestic workers should have the right to join unions and negotiate collectively. It applies to both local and migrant domestic workers, with added protection intended to prevent exploitation of workers recruited from abroad. We have more news up ahead. We'll be back with that after the break.
He's found some space down the right side. Plenty of support arriving now, and there's another making the run. They're getting bodies forward here. He spotted the opening, and he takes it. The anticipation is building. You can feel the tension growing. He's through here. This is the chance. Oh, what a chance. He should have done better there, but they're not done yet. They're coming again. The pressure is mounting now. The crowd can sense something here. One pass. He's through. He shoots. He scored. Listen to this place. What a moment. This is what football is all about. The world gathers together, all in one place.
People, not businesses, power the economy. And they deserve to be acknowledged, appreciated, and compensated for their efforts. Because when your people are successful, so is your business. Neo People, simplify your HR and payroll needs with one powerful solution.
Commercial Cleaning and Products of Belize, CCP, formerly known as Carpet Care Plus, offers a wide variety of professional restorative cleaning services and products in Belize. With over 20 years of experience in the industry, our mission has always been to provide our customers with the best products and services for quality, safe, and environmentally friendly cleaning. What separates us from the rest? The services we offer. Fabric cleaning for all types of carpets, upholstery, walls, and drapes. Vehicle detailing for both the interior and exterior. Total restorative cleaning of ceramic and porcelain tiles for floors, walls, marble, granite, limestone, travertine, clay, and more. Degreasing and polishing of the entire kitchen and all its equipment. Also custom concrete designs. We are a supplier of the most cost-efficient and economically viable products when you buy our specialized super concentrated formulas, such as cleaners, disinfectants, deodorizers, and sanitizers. Additionally, we also carry professional cleaning equipment, such as mops, buckets, vacuums, doormats, and window equipment, which are very durable and practical. You can order any of our products online at www.ccpbelize.com. CCP Belize uses only trained technicians, professional commercialized equipment, and EPA certified products. Our products are 100% biodegradable. We also have certified green products, which are used by Green Globe approved companies. Visit us at 68 North Front Street, Belize City, or contact us at telephone 223-1820. Email us info@ccpbelize.com.
Hardware store, now we online giving you more. Home or job site, no stress, no sweat. Everything you need, you could get. Household appliances, day or night. Shopping for supplies made easy and light. Click, click, boom, and the order done. Building in Belize.
best with Castillo's Hardware.
Back to School 2026 with the Angelus Press is here. And this year is bigger and better. We're talking unbelievable deals all summer long. Starting June 15, stock up on all your school essentials.
New notebooks? Check. Fresh backpacks? Check. Prices that make you smile? Double check.
Mommy, I want my new Samsonite backpack.
That's right. Samsonite still offers a sweet 1-year warranty. And hey, you even get a free merch with purchase while supplies last. Stay in the loop by following the Angelus Press on social media every Friday during our back to school season. Look out for our jaw-dropping this stuff for real deals.
So before you shop, make sure you follow
The Angelus Press, your back-to-school headquarters all summer long. The Angelus Press and the Love Foundation, transforming lives with love.
Good evening. Welcome back to the evening news here on Love Television. Minister of Home Affairs Julius Espat has made an official visit to the St. Bite Police Subs formation in southern Belize, where officers raised concerns about the need for improved working conditions and additional space at the station. Espat was welcomed by Inspector Anibal Castellanos, the commander of the St. Bite Police Sub formation, along with station personnel and members of the morning relief team. The minister says the visit was to hear directly from officers about the challenges they face and identifying areas where their welfare and the facilities at the subformation can be improved. During the meeting, Inspector Castellanos outlined several needs at the station, including additional office space to accommodate the gender-based violence response and investigation unit, as well as personnel assigned to the quick response team. Other operational concerns affecting the subformation were also brought to the minister's attention. Espat acknowledged that the improvements cannot all be completed immediately, but says he recognizes the importance of giving police officers a better work environment, assuring the officers that he will do what he can to address the needs identified during the visit. In political news, the People's United Party, the PUP, is heading to Dangriga this weekend for its National Party Council meeting, with a number of activities planned in the hours leading up to the signature event. PUP Secretary General Khalid Montejo says the NPC meeting is part of a wider weekend of party activities in Dangriga, with several events being organized ahead of Sunday's major public event.
This weekend we have two major events. The first event takes place tonight, that is sponsored by the Belize Youth Movement, which is the youth arm of the People's United Party, and it's the Punta Pulse, featuring well-known, popular Punta artists, the best there is in the country, such as Sweet Pain, Chico Ramos, and the General Super G, Hugh B, and just to name a few.
Busta B going to be around?
And Busta B is going to be there
Young
also,
Generals? Along
with the Young Generals DJ, along with DJ Pebbles and his crew. That event is slated to start tonight at 7 p.m. at the new park.
Multipurpose?
The multipurpose park here in Dangriga. That multipurpose park, sponsored by the Belize Tourism Board, will bring quite a bit of economic activity to Dangriga, and we're excited for the prospects of that in the future. That takes place tonight from roughly 7 p.m. to 1 a.m.
What is the objective of this event?
The objective is to get young people to appreciate the Garifuna culture and the music that goes along with it, and to enjoy and to appreciate Dangriga as a culture capital.
The National Party Council, commonly referred to as the NPC, is one of the PUP's main decision-making bodies between national conventions. It brings together the party's national executive, area representatives, standard bearers, party officers and other representatives to discuss party business, receive reports and make decisions on political and organizational matters. Prime Minister John Briceño, Deputy Prime Minister Cordell Hyde, Dr. Zabane and Dangriga Mayor Robert Mariano are all expected to make presentations. The meeting itself is scheduled for Saturday, July 4 at the Russell Chistega Auditorium in Dangriga, beginning at 10 o'clock in the morning. hosted by Dangriga Area Rep. Dr. Louis Zabane, along with the Dangriga PUP executive. In court news, 27-year-old Jalil Usher has been sentenced to a further 7 years, 8 months and 16 days in prison after pleading guilty to abetment to murder in connection with the 2023 shooting death of San Pedro teenager Kian Quiros. Usher appeared before Justice Nigel Pilgrim, who began with an 18-year sentence after finding that the offence fell within the most serious category because it involved a prohibited AK-47 firearm, resulting in the death of 19-year-old Quiros. The court heard that Quiros was shot and killed inside his bedroom in the San Mateo area of San Pedro town on August 11 of 2023. Investigators recovered 11 expended cartridges from the scene. Police later searched Usher's home in the same San Mateo area and found a Chinese-made AK-47 with an erased serial number concealed in a pillowcase on his bed. Forensic testing later linked that firearm to the cartridge cases recovered at the murder scene. While Usher was not identified as the shooter, the court found that he facilitated the murder by making the firearm available and enabling another person to access it. Justice Pilgrim accepted a plea agreement between the prosecution and Usher's attorney, Norman Rodriguez, under which an 8-year sentence had been recommended. The judge considered Usher's guilty plea, remorse, family responsibilities, and what the court described as signs of rehabilitation while on remand. The court also considered Usher's previous convictions, several of which involved firearm-related offences, along with the serious psychological harm caused to Quiros's family. After deductions for time already spent on remand and other mitigating factors, Usher was left to serve the 7 years, 8 months and 16 days more behind bars. Kian Quiros was 19 years old when he was killed. You're watching the news on Love Live at 6. Stay with us. We have more to come after this short break.
If this is an emergency situation, please call 911 right away for immediate assistance. Do not use the Crime Stoppers program in an emergency situation. Do you have information about a crime or a fugitive in our community? You can submit a tip anonymously with your smartphone. Using this program in safeguarding our community also protects your identity, keeping you out of the court system, and could earn you a cash reward. Here is how it works. Download the free P3 Tips app from the Apple Store or Android Market. P3 is the provider of our secure anonymous tip collecting software. Open the app and create a PIN, but be sure to remember that number, then select your location. Next, select the type of crime. When submitting a tip, be as specific as possible. Remember, the more information you give the officers, the more likely it is that we will be able to identify the suspect or confirm a crime has taken place. This ultimately helps when making arrests. Information leading to an arrest can earn you a cash reward of up to $1,000. Never put yourself in danger to gather information. However, if you have a picture, video, or audio that will help officers, you can upload them from your phone. Once you click Submit Tip, P3 will ask to send you notifications. You choose what's right for you. Once your tip is submitted, you'll be given a tip ID and password. Keep that info safe as you'll need it to check the status of your tip. Using the app, simply log back in using the PIN you created when you first opened it. Check back if your tip leads to an arrest. You'll be told how much you were rewarded and how to anonymously collect your cash.
No right. Garbage in the streets, creating dump sites, throwing no trash on the highway. We not fit do that. Only we could stop this. Each of we play an important part in protecting our beautiful country. for we Belize. Respect it, cherish it, love it.
Welcome to the William David Fonseca Parking Facility, your modern solution for safe and convenient parking in downtown Belize City. With easy payment options such as prepaid cards or coins, parking downtown has never been easier. Enjoy affordable rates as low as 75 cents for 15 minutes, $1.50 for 30 minutes, and $3 for an hour. Open and available 24/7. Park smart. Park safe. Park at the William David Fonseca Parking Facility. Modern, secure, convenient. Your Belize City Council. Always about the people.
You're live with the news on Love Television. Insurance companies in Belize will soon be able to compare notes on claims made by their customers following the launch of a new digital networking platform called Claims Vault. The system was officially introduced today by the Organization of Insurance Companies of Belize, ORINCO, in partnership with Epic Technologies, designed to give participating insurers a centralized and secure space to manage and share claims information. The idea is to help companies identify patterns, make better informed decisions, and reduce the risk of fraudulent claims moving through the system. By allowing insurers to access more complete claim histories, ORINCO says the platform should also improve the speed and quality of service provided to policyholders. ORINCO President Norman Moore says the Claims Vault represents an important step for the local insurance industry, particularly as companies work to strengthen data sharing and fraud prevention measures.
Today is a historic event for the insurance industry because we're launching the Claims Vault. As I said in my speech this morning, it's 6 companies, which we are all competitors within the market, but we came together and we saw the need that we needed to do claims sharing information then, and we needed to, in order to combat all the fraud that is actually plaguing the industry at this point in time. Now the issue with why we're implementing it is because we're seeing a high influx of, again, fraudulent claims coming into all of our companies, and as a collective group we have decided to now move forward with this platform to offer a better security, not only for us but also for the Belizean public as well. This event is actually intended to bring awareness to the public that now the insurance industry is taking steps forward to more safeguard the industry, right? And to actually help those that we say safe drivers will be rewarded, while meanwhile, the others that are not so safe will they will have I'd say not a penalty, but there's something to pay in addition to. In the past, we've seen that we've collectively taken the steps to actually just increasing the rates across the board. But with the introduction of this platform, it can actually distinguish the safe drivers from the unsafe drivers on the road. What we do is actually manage risk. So we are trying to manage our portfolios, and also if it is that there are fraudsters, that will not only affect us, it will also affect those safe drivers and those who don't have any accidents. So what we want to do is actually promote safe driving, right, within the Belizean public. We're highlighting first and foremost the motor insurance portfolio right now. As you can see, every day on the news you can hear about another accident. If you really look at the records, like last year, the 3rd week in October, I can tell you that every 24 to 36 hours there was an accident. And we actually saw that trend, and that is a very alarming trend for us. So we needed to take steps again to try to mitigate all of those losses and try to, promote safe driving then.
Moore says the platform is also expected to bring greater transparency and efficiency to the claims process, helping to build a stronger and more resilient insurance sector in Belize. The Attorney General's ministry has extended the deadline for all existing marriage officers to apply for reappointment. In a public notice issued on July 1, the ministry says marriage officers now have until Thursday, July 31, to submit their applications. The ministry is encouraging ministers of religion and senior justices of the peace who currently perform marriages to complete the process before the deadline. The exercise will see the reappointed officers issued a new license number. Those officers who miss the new deadline will be required to pay a late application fee of $50. Application forms are available through the Attorney General's Ministry website or at its office on Raccoon Avenue in Belmopan. The extension follows an earlier notice issued on June 15. And finally, Belize has taken over the pro tempore presidency of the ad hoc group responsible for implementing the Central American Integration System Regional Digital Strategy, known as ERDI, for the 6-month period from this July to December 2026. The Ministry of E-Governance will lead Belize's participation, with Acting Director John Robertus serving as president of the regional group. Belize succeeds the Dominican Republic, which previously led work in areas including cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, and institutional strengthening. Robertus says Belize will use the presidency to push for greater regional cooperation in digital transformation, arguing that technology must be treated as more than a technical issue. Belize's agenda will focus on strengthening regional cybersecurity, improving digital interoperability among member states, and advancing the responsible use of artificial intelligence. One major priority will be the cross-border recognition of electronic signatures, which could make it easier for people and businesses to complete official procedures and commercial transactions across CICA countries. The government says it will also support the development of AI tools that are based on regional data and guided by shared ethical standards, rather than relying only on systems designed for other parts of the world. Belize says it will work with CICA member states, development partners, the private sector, civil society to carry forward the ERDI Action Plan for 2024 to 2026 to improve digital inclusion, regional competitiveness, and cooperation. And with that story, we end the evening news here on Love Live at 6. We thank you for joining us and staying with us. Stay with us. Right now we'll bring you the latest weather news. If you wish to continue following our news broadcasts or keeping up with what's happening over the weekend, you can tune in to our sister radio station, Love FM. Thanks again for choosing us. We'll be back on Monday night with another Love Live at 6 to bring you the weekend's news and what's happening. Thanks again. I would like to thank the team behind the controls, Giovanni, and of course, all those who are behind in the newsroom, and those of you who make it possible and help us to bring the news together. We would like to say thank you again, and it's a pleasure for us to continue serving you. All the best to you. Have a great weekend, and of course, we will see you again. I am Ernesto Vasquez.
Good evening. The weather was mainly fair today with only isolated showers. Warm and relatively dry conditions will continue for another day or so. The 24-hour forecast is for partly cloudy skies tonight and mostly sunny skies tomorrow. Showers will be isolated with the low chance for an isolated thunderstorm over the extreme south late tonight. Minimum overnight temperatures will range from 82 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast to 74 inland to 68 in the Mountain Pine Ridge. Winds over the open sea will be easterly to northeasterly at 10 to 15 knots, and the seas will be light chop. Maximum temperatures tomorrow will be around 89 Fahrenheit on the coast, 95 inland, but only 82 degrees up in the mountains. The outlook is for mainly fair weather with only isolated showers Saturday night Then shower activity will gradually increase later on Sunday. There's a low tide at 7 o'clock this evening, and the high follows at 1:06 tonight. Another low is at 6:23 in the morning, and another high at 12:24 tomorrow afternoon. The moon will rise at 9:22 tonight and set at 9:14 tomorrow morning. Sunrise in the morning is at 5:22. Sunset tomorrow evening is at 6:31. In the tropical weather outlook, tropical cyclone formation is not expected in our area of interest during the next 48 hours. With that, we end this report from the Belize Weather Bureau.